First step is to find the trailer or a little blurb about the movie and read that, but don't go into like IMDb and go through the entire analysis. You'll spoil it for yourself. So start by watching the trailer so you can just get that going for yourself. And that's all you're going to work with. Now that we watched the trailer, it's time to start shuffling so that we can ask tarot to show us what happens in the movie Cocaine Bear, or insert whatever movie or show or story you want to know about here. All you do is you shuffle and you just think about what you saw in the trailer or what you read in the synopsis. And then you're just going to shuffle or mix the cards in your own way until you feel like it's done. And that feels different for everybody, but it might be a signal in your brain that says, okay, that's enough now, like it is for me. Or you might hear something, or you might just get some sort of intangible cue that it's time to stop shuffling. And when that happens, then it's time for you to flip the cards or turn them however you want in the arrangement that you want. I'm doing a 7x3 with a hidden card from the bottom of the deck. And then we're gonna see if tarot can show us what happens in the movie. So here's what we have now. So shuffle the cards while asking, show me what's in the plot of Cocaine Bear. Then you lay down a spread of 7x3. So you start up here at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Start back over here, do another row, do a final row, and then from the bottom of the deck, pull out a card and place it off to the side here. This is our hidden card. So what we want to do then is we're gonna go watch the movie, and then we'll come back and we'll see how these cards kind of told us the story of the movie that we're gonna go watch. Okay, so let's go do that. Okay, so we're back, we watched the movie, and now we're gonna see what the tarot cards were talking about when we put them down in the first place before we even saw what the story was about. So the first 3 cards, honestly, the first 2 cards of a spread like this are the most important, followed by the center and the hidden card, and the other ones add a lot of flavor. So because we're not trying to make a super long analysis out of this, we're just gonna focus on the major, the most important cards. So the first 3 here, we see 5 of Wands reversed, Queen of Pentacles reversed, and 10 of Wands reversed. So the 5 of Wands shows us anxiety and tension, nasty, ruthless battles. Queen of Pentacles reversed shows something of major value, and being obsessive about something that we put into our bodies, perhaps being possessive of loved ones and willing to defend them. Then we also have the 10 of Wands reversed. This is literally dropping things. Something being cracked open, and it can also be a card of violence. So these 3 cards definitely show us a lot of the happenings, just pretty much the entire movie. If you could only have 3 cards represent it, that would be these 3 here. Something valuable, people are fighting over, fell out of a plane, were dropped, whatever. Also a lot of violence, lots of nastiness. That is 100% kind of something that happens in this movie. So then we look at the center card. Center card is another key position in a spread like this. So this is kind of like a story spread. It doesn't have assigned card positions the way something like a Celtic cross would, or horseshoe, or what have you. It just kind of just show me what's going on, and then you put it all down and you go from there. So synchronicity is a general meaning for this 8 of Wands. People usually moving in the same direction on a topic. In this case, we see some conflicting motivations, but everyone is on the hunt for the coke, or the people who are also connected to the situation. So in the Golden Dawn deck, card is called Swiftness. And that applies here because the movie itself has fast pacing. The whole experience feels like being chased or chasing. Either you're driven by a desire for something, maybe you're trying to find your daughter, the coke itself, or just not wanting to die horribly. There's also several stories being told simultaneously. So this card is showing us that the cards that touch on all sides are telling us some different stories. So the 5 of Pentacles show us people who are seeking salvation, redemption. They're injured. They're surviving though, and they're just trying to get through this. Lovers reversed shows us unwise plans and failure. So there's a conflict between devotion to another person and like the obligation to your higher self. So for example, the character who lost his wife doesn't really want to do this job. So he is feeling very conflicted in that way. Also a small element of making choices that help us transition from children to adults. And usually our experiences, good and bad, as we develop, take us from the protection of our parents and give us the urge to explore on our own and face things alone, even though we don't really expect a coked out bear to make that choice to skip school and find the falls seem really dumb. So to the right, we have the 10 of Cups. Generally a really lovely card, that theme of contentment and family harmony. This card can also be elusive if the situation it speaks about isn't clear. So this card is ruled by Mars and Pisces. So Mars goes after what it wants with aggression and passion, but Pisces obscures that goal with a smidge of delusion. So some of the characters are highly motivated to reach a goal, but the big picture is completely escaping them. They are chasing an illusion. Below, here's the moon upright. Interestingly, this card connects to the moon. So the moon's showing us a few things. Visually, there are two small dog-like creatures. Those could be representing the cubs, could be representing the children. There are lots of parallels there. Exploring things they have no experience with. So the moon always seems, dreamy and serene, but most people miss the dark side of the moon. So darkness, lack of a clear view, makes every shadow look like a monster, whether real or just imagined. The moon can show us fear. It's fear of what we can't see and what we don't know. Tower reversed is our hidden card, and it adds flavor to the spread. Here it has some things to say, namely it's sometimes the meanings are conflicting, but both apply. So here we have an intensification of a situation, intensification of chaos, how the plot unfolds. Things just become harder and harder for the characters as it goes on. At the same time, Tower Reverse shows us that there will be something salvaged from this. There will be survivors. Not by any stretch is it a happy ending, because some characters had a really bad time forever, but all is not destroyed. Finally, this card can show us accidents, cuts, and other body damage, and there's lots of that to be had here. So trying to keep this analysis short, I don't want to go into all the other cards, but if you do spend time looking at them, and if you have a little experience with tarot, for example, you might see that some of the things actually there are some parallels in other ways. So these cards in their current arrangement reflect the story of Cocaine Bear. Again, this exercise is just meant to be fun. Personally, I learn by doing, so I can't just pick up a book on tarot and look at it and absorb all the meanings like that. I just don't learn that way. So one of the ways I learned was to take a verifiable situation, such as a movie, because everyone can see what happens in it, and then we'll ask the question, what happens, put the cards down, and then we'll see how the cards show us what happens. Because tarot, it's all about symbols. So that in mind, if you have a deck and you want to try this, absolutely go for it. It can be a lot of fun. It's a great way to enhance your skills. Anyway, I hope you had a good time watching this. It's just for entertainment, it's just for fun, and hopefully, if you haven't seen Cocaine Bear, you probably know how it would go anyway, but sorry about all the spoilers if you hadn't seen it already, if you were saving yourself for the opportunity to go watch it. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, and I appreciate you watching this video. Take care.